lot of people ask me why I spend and volunteer my time with Children's Hospital and Children's Miracle Network here at UCDavis. And the answer is pretty simple today. It's because I was one of those kids. I didn't quite know my story until I got involved with Children's Hospital. But when I was born, within an hour of my birth, my parents were told that I needed to have a surgery or I would die. They were then told that the local community hospital where I was born was unable to perform the surgery, and even if they did, my parents' medical insurance wouldn't pay for it. So after my parents had a moment to digest that message, they then asked the doctors what other chances were there, what other choices did they have? And they were told that there was a children's hospital in Oakland nearby that could possibly do the surgery. They hadn't done it before either, but they would be willing to try if I could get in. And after a series of frantic phone calls, I was put into an ambulance and rushed away to Oakland Children's Hospital a couple of hours later. Well, after 9 months of surgeries and intensive care, I'm happy to say that I have a picture here showing me at the end of that first 9 months, and the nurses propped me up in a chair for the back cover of Bambino magazine because I was a survivor. Like so many of the children in Children's Hospital, it's about making it. And it was because of a Children's Hospital that I'm here today, so that's one of the reasons. Some of the other benefits that come from Children's Hospital, besides the amazing care kids get, is some financial relief. It's very expensive to be in the hospital. And in 1969, the first set of bills came to my parents' house. The first bill was right about $50,000. Well, being the youngest of 6, my mom stayed at home, my dad worked. The bill may have been $1 million. It didn't matter. They didn't have it. And when Children's Hospital came to talk to my parents about the bill, the question they asked was, how much can you afford to pay? And he told them he could probably afford $50 a month. And they told him that was too much. And $25 a month would be great if he could do it. And that's what he paid for the next 4 years for all my hospital visits, my follow-up doctor visits, everything. The Children's Hospital took care of everything. Looking back, as I started to understand the story, one of the questions I asked what the name of the doctor was, and my parents looked at each other and chuckled because the doctor who did the surgeries at Oakland was Dr. Free. And that's exactly what ended up happening. It was more or less free. So a few years ago, when I was asked to help on this board to help raise money for Children's Miracle Network, I hadn't made the connections. It didn't quite make sense. And when they told me that children could come and it didn't matter if they had money, they would all be treated, and this great program was right here in our backyard, I had to go back and talk to my parents and find out about my story. And when I found out that I was one of the kids, well, there was really no other choice to do but help. And that's what brought me to Children's Miracle Network, is given me the opportunity to meet so many wonderful families who are going through and who went through the same things my parents did. And as a parent, I count my blessings every single day that my girls are healthy, because having been a child and have spent so much time with some of the families whose children have these great challenges, it's nice to know that I can be a very, very small part of a great solution that Children's Miracle Network provides the UCDavis Hospital in our community.